Hey everyone, my name is Jasmine with the Houston DSA, and I'm joined here with...
Howdy everybody. My name is Jose, also with Houston DSA.
And I'm Barrett, also with Houston DSA.
So today we had the really good experience of going out with Crecen and with Top to the Las Esquinas here in Houston. So these are areas where our day laborers go and wait for work. So Jose, will you tell us a little bit about what your experience was like? Is this the first time that you've done this kind of organizing before?
Yeah, so this was my first time, and I'm a fluent Spanish speaker from Puerto Rico, so for me, there's a lot of value in doing this work as our immigrant communities, our sisters and brothers, are under attack by the fascist regime of Donald Trump. So basically, we were just talking to our community members, providing some conchas, some poquito de agua as they get their day started, and our objective was to share information pertaining to rights in case ICE or Migration Services come to harass our sisters and brothers, and we also asked them to connect with us through Signal in a chat. So for me, it was the best part of it was just really talking to our sisters and brothers and kind of hearing their experience and what they're facing. And yeah, I think today was a good morning and a good day.
Yeah, I completely agree. And so we were trying to go there not just to try to organize the folks who are working there, but also because we want to kind of create community. We want to show these day laborers who many times they're being threatened by the business owners, or they're not being paid what they're owed. And a lot of times they are threatened because of their immigration status. And so because of that, we wanted to show them with a bunch of volunteers that came out here today that the community is here in solidarity with them, and there are good people out there who are wanting to get involved. And so in order to try to organize folks, we wanted them to join this group, a group chat where they could be connected to a lot of us who are volunteers who have all of these resources. Some of us work for these immigration organizations that have all of these resources, but then we don't know how to connect those communities to one another. And so this way we were able to kind of close that gap, and hopefully we can continue to go out there. But Barrett, tell me a little bit about your experience as a non-Spanish speaker.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely new to this type of organizing. It was definitely my first Las Esquinas. I don't, not sure if I said,
You got it.
pronunciation is the thing that scares me most. But it was great to just meet people in the community. Just like Jose said, we're in a pretty fascist time right now, and it's just nice to talk to people, just show that, like you said, create a sense of community. Like we don't, not everyone wants to see people like rounded up like people are, like what is happening right now. So kind of give a face to that, and also just give a group of people that they can talk to. They've gone through some, like, I don't know, Jose, you were saying that like a lot of them just there's a
lot of fear in the community.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, especially like they're looking for work, and like the people who they're getting work from, they're not getting a fair deal right now, and people are kind of taking advantage of the situation, and
so
that's something we want to fight against, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What was it like to kind of experience that, to talk to folks? Like, how were they feeling? What were they like? Were they like willing to talk to us?
I think the majority of people were very receptive. I mean, I know that if I were in their shoes, I might be a little bit sussed out. It's like, who's the people coming? But everybody was very friendly to us. A lot of people ate the conchas, and I remember one of the gentlemen, he specifically said, like, I heard a lot of frustration and anger because it was like, we're not slaves.
Right.
We should be treated with decency. A lot of people were reading the literature that we gave them, and I think a few people joined our chat, so that's a good thing. Most of all, I think people appreciated that there are humans that are showing up to defend our communities, and this is a very pressing time in this country, so we have like a moral responsibility to defend and protect and educate our neighbors. And I thought that was really special, talking to a lot of these people.
Yeah, I agree. I think at first people were a little bit hesitant. They were a little bit nervous because it's not, unfortunately, it's not every day that the community goes and shows up and has, you know, pan dulce to give to folks and has cold water to give to folks. It's like 95 degrees outside today, and these men are standing out there all day. And so to have a little bit of appreciation, I think, is also like a little bit shocking to folks. And also right now, like you see a big group of folks, you don't know them, they're strangers. People are a little hesitant at first. But because we had a lot of our comrades here who were able to kind of talk to them, say what organization they're from, it kind of helps them break that fear down a little bit. They see the materials that we have, and they see the friendly faces, even if they're not also Latino, like they know these are people who they have like the food that is there to give them. They have these cold waters that they're giving them. So that way we can try to create that community just even like across our ethnic lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, like, so I'm fairly new to Las Esquinas. How did this come about, and like, kind of like, what was the inception of?
Yeah, so I actually live right next to a Home Depot, and so myself and my mom and one of my friends, who is my neighbor, actually, we decided to go one day. It was like raining really hard, and we had just made these like one-pager Know Your Rights flyers, and so we decided to go to the Home Depot and hand them out to folks, and people were really receptive. Even though it was like a very rainy day, there was only maybe like 8 guys out there. We had a good conversation with them. They were very receptive, and we figured like we could expand this program. We could have more people come out, and it's good to be able to actually have that conversation. It's one thing to see things on TikTok or see things on the news, but it completely hits different when you're actually talking to a person and you're hearing their story and you're in that community. You're like, man, I pass this gas station all the time, or I pass this Home Depot all the time. I can't believe the business owner is out here threatening folks. And so it kind of just came about because of that like one little action that we did. And then we also decided that we need to have a more active role in actually organizing our communities, because although our communities can kind of organize themselves, we have so many resources, and we have so many people in the DSA, for example, who are well-meaning volunteers who want to do something. And so how do we activate those people and then connect them to the actual community on the ground? And we're kind of hoping that this program can be that bridge.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely love that, just getting people out there and, you know, trying, like, I'm not usually going to be like hiring any of these folks myself. I'm not in that position, and these are just people I frankly probably wouldn't talk to normally, and kind of, you know, I'm a Houston transplant, but kind of the reason I feel like I've stayed in Houston is it is such a community of immigrants. It really is what makes the city great to me, and you know, I want those communities to feel safe, because I think without them, the city loses quite a bit. So
yeah, and that's really important too, like the fact that a lot of us are in our own like bubbles. Like even if we are like, you know, Latinos as well, like we might not always, you know, be in the same spaces as some of these workers, and so we don't often get to hear these stories unless we take an active role in going and talking to people. And that's really important. You know, I feel like a lot of us, like, we just kind of do our own thing. We go to work, we go back home, we do our hobbies, we go back to sleep, and like we don't like leave that area. Right. And so if you're like a white collar worker, maybe you're never gonna really interact with any like blue collar workers. Maybe you don't talk to the custodian who comes and cleans your building at night. And we want to encourage folks to take that step and actually talk to people and ask them about their experiences, because a lot of times, like, we saw at the beginning, some people were a little bit hesitant, and then we went to like the second corner, and there, like, people were very willing to share their stories. Like, they want to share their stories, and we have the resources available to try to help some of these folks. And so it's good that we're there, like, listening and getting out of our own kind of frame of reference. Right. Now we have like a little bit more connection. We know what it's like we know a little bit about the experience of what it's like to be a day laborer. I mean, we're out there, we're sweating, we have that a little bit of experience, and it creates a little bit of that empathy. And a lot of folks, you know, we just see them, we drive by them, we don't necessarily have that right away. Now it's a very different experience to go and talk to them and hear their stories.
Yeah. And I like it too, because it's not just like a like a one-stop deal thing. Like, there's a follow-through with this. Like, the whole point is to keep in touch with our neighbors and our community members. So this is not just like showing up one weekend and dropping some food,
giving
and see you
some
later,
food, and like,
I
feel that was so nice to meet them.
There's an intention to stay connected, and I think that's what we need in these times, to stay connected as neighbors and really help one another, and really solidarity is what brings us all together, and that's what we're about definitely in our local chapter of Democratic Socialists of America. So this is really good work, and I look forward to staying involved con nuestra gente y ayudar. Así que.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that we want to continue to do this, and we want to stay connected with these folks and give them all the resources and solidarity that we have. And hopefully we can continue to stay in touch and do this again in the future. And if any of y'all are listening to this and you want to get involved, you can go to houstondsa.org and houstondsa.org/join if you want to come join us on one of these trips.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.